Hey everyone, I hope you're taking it easy and your day has been great thus far. For this video we'll be going through an unboxing and review of Studio Series Core Class Arcee. And this version of Arcee is from Transformers Rise of the Beasts. So it's probably no surprise having a look at the Core Class version of Arcee off the back of a recently published unboxing and review of a Beast Combiners Arcee. So I thought I would have a crack at an Arcee that has a little bit more articulation. Or so I hope. Front of the packaging for Arcee. So nice little CGI shot of her on the top of the packaging tab. Standard window box that we get these days with Arcee somewhat horribly contorted in there, but that's okay. Side of the box, just another CGI shot, the core class labeling, and there's another one, so pretty much standard Studio Series core class packaging. And on the back we have Arcee, 11 steps of transformation from bike to robot, which is interesting because it has 2 steps less than what her Beast Combiner had, and I'm hoping it's not as complicated. So that is the packaging. Time to crack open the packaging, have a quick look at Arcee. I believe she'll also have a background image as well, so yeah, treat it as a standard Studio Series opening. And with Arcee out of the packaging, what do we have? So we have normal instruction booklet, Arcee, okay, we'll find out a bit more in a little bit. And 2 accessories, one being her weapon, and I assume this will probably be a front bike wheel, would be my guess. There isn't a proper backdrop, but if you use the one that does come in the box, granted it is somewhat perforated, you can do a nice little, okay, this is probably not the best look, but very informal scene, which is fine. At some point maybe I have to borrow maybe bumblebees, possibly. Time will tell, I guess. But yeah, that's the very makeshift background image if you wanted to use it. So pop those to the side, assuming I don't flick them across the table. Arcee can move over there. As for your manual, so okay, so there are a few steps on just to detail on just to correctly have her transformed, I guess, because of her contorting in the box, and it does show you how to correctly stow that extra wheel, which is very cool, so it doesn't sit loose. How to equip the weapon, and then pretty much straight into the transformation. So not too bad. It looks like it'll be a lot easier to follow through for the core class figure than the Beast Combiner. Yeah, which isn't too bad at all. Does look pretty cool. I am not going to do a live transformation though. I think I got a little bit burnt on the Beast Combiner. And there will be some weapon storage, which might even form a bit of a bike stand. So that's pretty cool. So that is a quick look at the manual. So based on what we saw in the manual, I will attach this into Arcee, or attempt to attach this to Arcee. So that's pretty cool. I think I have the legs right from when I took her out of the box. So before we get too carried away, here is her weapon. It's your standard equip it over the hand as a transformed weapon, all in the one black color, so detailing is a bit hard to see. But in terms of adding it on, it does tab in nicely into her hand. There you go, Arcee with her primary weapon. We'll have a look at that again in our ultimate. Now, Arcee. Okay, Arcee. Front of Arcee. Side. The back when I'm not moving things around. The other side. Bit of a nice little close-up on some of the colors and detailing if the camera behaves. Yes, no, maybe. No? Oh, there we go. So definitely not too bad. In terms of colors, so I'm getting a nice, say it's a bit of a white and red primary hybrid combo. We do have a bit of pink, as well as some painted dark grey, silver, to add a little bit of colour. There's a little bit of bronze on the wheel rims, and her eyes do look like they are painted in blue. So it's definitely nice to see a bit more colour on this little version of Arcee compared to the Beast Combiner. It is very cool. Now I will admit, and it is a core class, so I can't complain too much. It does feel like there's a bit of kibbling. I mean, the bike wheels had to store somewhere, so the back of the legs and even the back, because of some of that bike mode, will feel a little bit kibbled, but it's okay. At least you can still press down on that bike tire and keep it somewhat flush. Okay, articulation. There will be, oh my goodness, 360-degree motion in her head, if you can manage to spin it around that much. So that is always nice. We do have a bit of a tilt up and a bit of a tilt down, so it's definitely not too bad. You can pull off a bit of directional posing with the head there. In terms of the arms, arm will do a full 360 at the shoulder joint. We'll go all the way out like so, and does feature a standard 90-degree elbow bend. And in fact, that elbow bend is a ball socket, so that arm, well, the forearm, can pretty much spin around at that socket. Now the arm can go a little bit more up further, thanks to the actual shoulder bit here. But I do believe that is also part of the transformation when her arms fold up. But that's actually not too bad. It's definitely nice to have that elbow there though, so very, very cool. Good to see that. We do have a 360 at the waist. Depending on what you're doing with the arms, you may need to move them. You may need to lower this as well to accommodate. As for legs, when I'm not unintentionally moving everything, should probably keep things in the camera. Full splits, which is very good. Leg will be able to go all the way out to the front. If you slightly do it to the side, it can go all the way to the back. We do have that full 360-degree at the hip. And as for the knee, well, that is just over 90-degree bend at the knee. And in fact, is that knee? No, I was going to say is the knee a ball socket, but no, it's just a normal hinge. So definitely do not try and rotate anything at the knee. You'll definitely get your rotation up here. Now, is there some rotation at the feet, or is it just my imagination? No, it's just my imagination. Only because if you look, it does look like the foot is possibly separated, but I don't actually think it is. So, yeah, definitely no motion in the feet, like there isn't any extra articulation in the hand, which, as a core class, is fair. So, definitely not too bad. So standard arm articulation, you know, pretty much stock standard articulation in the legs. Head is also good. Definitely good to have some of that rotation in the waist as well. So for a core class, well, you definitely will have some dynamic posing options. Generally. I'll find out in time how well those options are when I do some of the photo shoot and the shorts. So now that we've looked at Arcee in her robot mode, time to transform her, have a quick look at the bike mode, and then I can pose out some closing thoughts. And just in case, because I didn't do it earlier, yes, she can stand on her own 2 feet. For about another second or two when I try and switch over her 2 feet into her 2 bike wheels. and with Arcee in her alt mode. So the bike mode actually doesn't look too bad. So here we have the bike from the front, the side, the back, and as always, core classes have this thing with hands sticking out the back. Oh, if I had $1 for every time I saw one of those. The other side from the top, which actually doesn't look too badly detailed, and from the bottom. And now I will say, from the bottom, I have attached the weapon. It does tab into 2 pieces, so it actually does feel quite nice and secure. But unfortunately, yeah, my hope of it being a solid bike stand, not very solid. Possible caveat, maybe I haven't transformed it right, but just looking at the 2 wheels and where that sits, it's probably a bit too high, so maybe I just need to pull it down a little bit without necessarily pulling it out. Watch me pull out pretty much the whole thing. Yes, no, yeah. Anyway, don't expect Arcee to be on her bike mode without a little bit of assistance. Now the transformation actually wasn't too bad. There's some decent tabbing here and there. It did feel a lot more intuitive than the Beast Combiner version of Arcee. So yes, the arms do come together quite, well, relatively nicely. They do tab together. The main torso does a little bit of a spin, and then we just neatly fold up the legs, put them together. The rear wheel comes together, and we just spin the front wheel around. In fact, no, it's definitely this way. Looking at the sporks. Yeah, I'm really trying hard to try and get this to balance, but it's not working very well. So transformation, definitely not too bad at all. I could have done it live, but let's spare myself a little bit of embarrassment, at least for the first time around. As for the bike mode, it's definitely not too bad. The wheels will actually rotate very nicely independently, and yes, she will very freely wheel on a flat surface. There is a bit of detailing there. I mean, we even have a bit of the bike chain happening. It's a shame that's in pure black. If it was in silver, that would probably help it stand out. So if you feel like color correcting that, by all means. As for everything else, it's definitely not too bad. I mean, it's a core class. There's only so much you can expect. I mean, seriously, the hands, really. It's definitely not too bad for the scale. Colors are definitely quite nice. I mean, you still see a lot of the red and the white, but it does work out quite well. The black you do see a lot more, especially because it's in the bike wheels and things like that. The pink becomes a little bit more diminished unless you look at it from the top, but otherwise it's definitely not too bad. Still quite pleasant to the eye, despite the fact that Arcee has always been traditionally more within a pinker color, traditionally. But the red and white, not bad at all. Not too bad detailing on the figure. But yeah, definitely overall, not too bad for 11-step transformation into a very basic bike mode. So, Arcee, I don't know why I even bother. Chill. Final thoughts. From a robot mode, it's not too bad. It is a core class. Mileage will obviously vary, especially compared to the Pseudo series deluxes, voyages, and leaders. So you get what you get for this scale. But at this scale, good amount of articulation. So there should be a bit of playability with the figure. It's obviously a good thing that with the elbow bends, the arms are definitely a bit more dynamic and expressive. The legs should be okay. And the head can also help at least, visualize some of those dynamic poses. Definitely curious to see how the legs go because of some of that kibbling and things like that, if it starts to become impeded in certain stances. But I'd say overall, robot mode isn't too bad. Transformation from once again, not too bad. It does feel intuitive, and it'll probably get easier over time. Was there anything that I didn't really like about it? Not really. It's nice that there's some tabbing there, which always is a nice little treat. So I'd say transformation was pretty solid for this core class. As for the alt mode, well, it's a bike alt mode. What can you expect? It does look good. It's definitely nice to have the wheels, you know, freely moving and all that. I think the only grievance I have really with the alt mode is, whilst it's nice that you can store the weapon, I did think the weapon would act as a bike stand, because most bike alt modes very rarely stand on their own. So I'll definitely try it again. I mean, I may have potentially pushed the weapon too far up into the tabbing, and maybe if it's just loosely tabbed in, that'll give it a bit more of the surface area to lay on the flat surface as well as the wheels. Plus I really do want to try and do that, because that'll make doing the shorts while in the vehicle mode so much easier. Same with taking pictures, which at this point in time is retrospective, because this is now live and I've probably done all that. So overall, Arcee at this point of time of this recording pretty much exists as a core class figure. She exists as a beast combiner, and she, I believe, will exist as a beast weaponizer 2-pack. The combiner was okay, but the subline focuses on something else, so the figure wasn't too crash hot. This version of Arcee is obviously trying to be a bit more playable and aligned to Pseudo series practices, and it does. I think the unfortunate side is it's been done at core class. Core class is nice, but it feels like it's just been a token. Here's a Pseudo series figure. Leave it at that. For the same reason, I still wish that they do a proper Pseudo series Shockwave from the Bumblebee movie. Yes, his core class isn't too bad, but really, he's only a core class. So I'd definitely say of the two that I've seen of Arcee anyway, the core class does have much more playability, and that's to be expected. But I do hope there will be better versions of Arcee as time goes on. I do hope that they actually do release at least a proper subline deluxe of her. Time will tell. Because it would be nice to have a bit more playability with the figure. But overall, Pseudo series core, it's still a core. Still definitely not too bad for what you get, especially even at the price point. So if you really were to get an Arcee, I would definitely recommend this one, especially compared to the combiner. Once I get the weaponizer, I'll know a bit more about that one. I think some people are actually suggesting the weaponizer could actually potentially be the best Arcee of the three. Time will tell. So yes, so that's pretty much the unboxing and review of Pseudo series core class Arcee. Definitely not a bad figure. Has some good things, has some bad things, and it's definitely nice to have it in the collection, and I'm sure I'll try and get at least one shot of core class Arcee with the deluxe Pablo Jack, because why not? Thank you very much for watching this somewhat oddly paced unboxing and review of core class Arcee. Feel free to leave a like, or comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the content. All of this does help support the channel. I do greatly appreciate it. Extra content can also be found on my Instagram account. Link to that will be in the description below. And as I always do, there'll hopefully be some supplementary content in the way of a quick 1-minute short as well, and hopefully something on the community tab later down the track. still plenty of Transformer stuff to go through. I just thought I'd do a bit of a segue into this, just because I recently did a Arcee. So here we have Arcee, and hopefully soon enough I will get into the main Deluxe and Voyager subline. Time will tell, but definitely stick around and keep an eye out for those. With that all being said, stay safe and take care, and I will catch you all in a future video. See ya.